will be a big talking point because they've been involved in all the other games. But he's obviously seen something he doesn't like, and he's had a look at it. His new manager, they've probably had a clean slate since he come in, but he obviously doesn't like what he see. Whatever about their on-field performances, he's on about looking at their attitudes in terms of training, travelling, the way they speak to staff, work rate, etc. So to leave him out of the squad is a big call. But for us who've watched United recently, there's also not that big a surprise because both players have been poor. And he's probably said enough's enough. And we'll see also how they react to this big disappointment to be left out of a squad on obviously in a big game. But big call from the manager. But I like to see it. He's putting a marker down to these players, and it's now how these lads react to it.
Don't you think it's pretty sad, though, a local boy in Rashford who was supposed to be the talisman for this team, to see the way his career sort of materialised over the last couple of years? He had that couple of good seasons, and he thought, now is the time to be the leader. And to be not involved in a derby, it must be heartbreaking.
Of course. Well, you hope he's disappointed, because the derby should mean as much to a local player as much as anybody, so it will be a setback for him. But we've seen it coming. We've been talking about Marcus for the last year or two, attitude, off the field stuff, obviously a couple of issues going on. The other night in Europe when he came off, just body language on the bench, all these little signals. Remember, you've got a new manager, new staff have come into the club, and they'll be picking up on all that stuff. And clearly he said he's been looking at it and he's not happy with it. He's the manager. Big call.
There's a player in there, though, somewhere, isn't there? There's a player in there. You can't have all them attributes. He's good technically. He can run. He's quick. I think it's not helped the fact that the managers are always changing, systems are always changing. And I'm not trying to protect him by any stretch, but I just think it's a sad story for a player of that quality.
For him or for Manchester United?
For both. For both. I just think a player of Rashford's quality should be playing. He should be the...
But quality's not enough, Michael. We've discussed this many times for you. Quality in terms of picking moments in the game, and which he's not even been great at recently.
He got 30 goals 2 years ago. We're talking about a player who can do it. I know it is 2 years ago, but there's still something there. Not a lot of players can score 30 goals across the season with the pressure of Man United. I just feel it's a sad end to what's happening.
Well, it might be an end to him. Let's not be writing him off. He's just left him out of the squad, but doesn't look good for him. I think ultimately, there's been talk over the last few months. I feel a probably move for Marcus is definitely would suit the player, a new challenge for him. He's been at the club a long time. He's done well for the club, but over the last year or two, whatever about talent at a big club, if your attitude's not quite right, and his certainly hasn't been great recently, sometimes I think it's good to part ways.